Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Good night. Welcome to another edition of the England Roger Sports Hour on Love Bay Afrobeats Music Talk Radio. Roger, before we got on here, we were just talking about the contrast in weather conditions because I'm here in New York, you're in Toronto.
I
It's bright
know.
and sunny in New York, but we don't
Brandon's
know.
in Toronto right now as well, but
Mhm.
yesterday it was not so bright and not so sunny.
Yeah, yesterday was a nice, bright, sunny day. A
Oh,
great, made
lucky
it more
you.
special for that Canada won its first ever T20 World Cup match. So,
I know it was.
um,
It came down. It's your day, the Canadian day. As president of
Canadian,
Cricket
yeah.
Canada, you must have been saying beautiful weather, beautiful wind.
Yeah, it was a great win. Yeah, the guys really dug deep and they knew what they went wrong in the first game, but we'll talk about that a little more later. And they
For
came out with a
sure.
win. And yeah, it's now they're feeling upbeat and feeling they can compete with anyone. So
I think they're
that's the
bouncing off the
good.
walls, not just upbeat,
Yes,
and I think they're way past
way
upbeat.
it's upbeat for real.
It's the
Yeah,
first victory ever for Canada
first
in a World
ever
Cup.
in a
So
T20.
yeah,
Yeah.
I can see this. I can feel the smile all the way from Toronto.
Yeah, it's really great. It's a great feeling being there watching it. It
Yeah,
was
lots of
excellent.
pride, lots of pride there.
Lots of pride for sure. And I see a lot of Canadian fans were there too. I guess it's close by, so it was
Yeah,
good
that's
to see
awesome
that.
to see though. The support is also important, right? So
Yeah,
I think you may see some people jumping in their cars and finding their way to New York if they can, if there's more
yes,
games there for them. So
yes, for sure. There's one more game on Tuesday and then final game on final round game on 15th in Florida. So
yeah, yeah,
we'll see how that goes. Some other sporting things are happening, Roger, and right
lots,
now, yeah,
lots of big things happening.
lots are happening. Track and field, Formula One, and
Yeah,
we're not seeing familiar name at the top of the practice runs, but I'm not
yeah,
winning the last one either. So things are changing. There's NBA finals have started. The
yeah.
hockey NHL finals have started. So
There you
a
go.
lot
That's what I
to
said.
talk
It's a
about.
lot of things, man. As you said, the hockey finals
Yeah,
are going on. We have a Canadian team in there for the first in a little while, and we haven't won as a Canadian since 1993. So can they pull it
that's
off?
really
The NBA is going on. There's this battle with Boston and Dallas out there. There's so much going on with, as you mentioned, F1. It's in Montreal. So again, it's in Canada. So a lot of things
Montreal.
happening
Yeah,
for Canada right now. So, the Grand Prix is in Montreal, and every year I think you and I have been saying we got to find our way down there, but for some reason we haven't as yet. But
we
maybe
haven't.
next year
Yeah.
is the year. But so much going on. Euros are going to be started. World Cup qualifying is going on for soccer. So every sport you can look at, something exciting is happening, and of course we can't forget those guys over there in the French Open, which is going on right
Yeah,
now.
it's going on right now, actually. Swiatek up
Swiatek
six
is
two three nothing in the second set. And
dominating this thing here,
yeah, I
dominating,
think
dominating.
for about maybe the first four games, Paulini looked like she can compete, but since that,
Yeah, I
nothing.
was watching it before I came on here, so I could see the frustration hitting Paulini.
Hmm.
It's difficult for her, just to say the least, and it's
Yeah,
becoming more and more difficult.
it is becoming more and more difficult, and you can see that her intensity has dropped a bit, and
Yes,
she's
yes,
just not up to.
yeah. She's
Yeah.
getting. I wouldn't say frustrated, but I mean, I wouldn't say, or even say losing hope, but she's
Hmm.
beginning to struggle a bit.
Yeah, she's struggling. I mean, she's up against the world number one, who's probably the best clay court
Clay
player,
court, and she's going
and
for three straight. So it's
she's
not
going.
something she's not used to. She's used to winning
Yeah,
here. This is
yeah.
her clay court, her championships to lose, and she's just dominating right now. And I mean, yeah, I did call it, and I mean, I think you as well that she's the favorite here. I thought Coco Gauff would have been her biggest challenger, and they did. She did put up a bit of a fight, I think, but it became more a fight. Coco had a fight with a judge more than with Swiatek. So
Yeah,
unbelievable to see that happening there. But I think Coco will use calmer nerves next time.
yeah. But Swiatek just seems a bit above everybody else and so tough
On
to
clay,
beat. And
on clay. Yeah,
yeah,
I think when I'm
and
watching this game, I don't even know how anybody could beat her.
yeah,
Her positioning is great. Her power is great.
mhm.
Just about everything she's doing, she's just in total command, and it
Yeah,
was
she is
fascinating to
totally.
watch her.
It
Really
is, and yeah, it's going to be an uphill battle for Swiatek to even get back anyway. I mean, for Paulina to get anywhere close.
fascinating. Yeah,
She's
yeah.
down on us 15-40 at this stage, so I think it's almost over. Just a matter
It's
of
pretty
time.
much. I think the fat lady is warming up that voice.
Yes,
It's going to be
definitely.
singing soon.
We'll be singing soon. Yes.
It's been tough.
Yeah.
It's been tough, but I mean, Paulina did well to get there.
Yeah,
So
she
give her
did
credit
because she
for that.
surprised a lot of people.
Yeah, she's ranked 12th in the world and she's in the
Mhm.
finals. So kudos to her. She's doing well. But
They called her a late bloomer because they said she started late.
yes,
Yeah, she was not a known name
no,
as a teenager, and she
not
just
at
blossomed.
all.
Yeah, and
She's
she's
coming
very
on
good.
gangbusters, and kudos to her. She's on her way up, and I hope she takes this as a lesson and not as a defeat if it happens that way, and gets
Yeah,
stronger and stronger from here.
yes. Not often you see somebody starting to get better at age 28 in
I
tennis,
know.
and
Usually
she
they're on their
is
way down, but she's on her way up. So
up. Yeah,
it may be a benefit to her that she's stronger and wiser. So who knows? We may see her doing stuff later on this year.
but very well we see that. Getting the experience in this level, we definitely will see something special from her in the future.
Absolutely, absolutely. On the
Mm.
men's side, it's also exciting. So
Yeah, it's
it,
very exciting.
I think the semifinal was my final. I think with Alcaraz and Sinner.
Yeah, that's what happens. Like when I see them play each other, I just think like they're supposed to be playing in the final.
Finals, yeah, and the game was like it's a five-set thriller, man. So yeah, it's
Hmm.
like a final, and I guess the argument has been ongoing as to who is the better one. This is Alcaraz's first time in the French Open because I do not think this is his court, but he has
Mm-mm.
found a way to get to the finals. So if he can take this one, it will show that maybe all the noise about him being the greatest thing right now is true. We'll see if he can pull it off, but he did really, really well in what he said was the toughest game of his life to beat Sinner.
Yes. Remember early on he said that he felt good. He felt he was getting back to his
He
best.
did.
So
He did.
he
And
showed that he had the fight, and to come here and win in 5 sets was really great.
it was really,
And
really great.
in the other set, Zverev over Casper Ruud.
Rude, yeah.
Yeah,
Rude wasn't really there. So, yeah, it
four
was.
sets.
Yeah.
But do you think those 5 sets will take anything out of Alcaraz for tomorrow's final?
He's a young kid. Maybe not so much.
So he
I,
should be okay.
he should be okay. And I think right now he's ready to go. I mean, he wants this championship. And as you said, he's feeling well about himself and well about his game. So I think he's ready to take it. And he's so motivated right now. He's so young that I think it's not anything that is going to hold him back playing those extra sets against Sinner.
Yeah, that's true. He's young. He's ready, and I pick him to win.
Oh, yeah.
Don't
Oh,
know
yeah.
if you have any bets to that.
No, I pick him to win as well. I mean, my only thing from this tournament, from the men's side, has been Djokovic had to take a knee surgery. So,
Yeah, yeah, to do knee surgery. Said it
yeah,
was successful.
successful. So, for me, is are we seen? I mean, we've just seen Nadal come to this tournament and looks like he's maybe on his way out for
Hmm.
retirement. And now we've seen Djokovic, who is getting up there in age as well, having these major injuries. That's what happened to Nadal initially until we didn't see him for like a year and a half. Let's see how quickly Djokovic can recover from this knee surgery, and if he can come back to who he was before it happened. So that's what I'm sort of looking at as well. What's going to happen down the road for this super, super great tennis player. But I'm also excited to see Alcaraz because I've been hearing so much that he's going to dominate, and I've
Hmm.
seen him play a couple of times, watch him on TV, and I think truly the talent is there. I mean, he's an exciting player to watch. So. It would be good if he could win to just cement his place in the world as one of the greatest or one of the youngest and great players right now.
Yes, it would be good to see him, yeah, do that. But yeah, hoping that he comes back pretty strong. And yeah, Djokovic with his injuries, but it's hard to come back when you're older, right?
Exactly. Thank you. Thank you. He's not like Alcaraz 21. He's this what, 35, going 36. So it's a different conversation when you get injured at that age.
Yes, for sure. What else was happening, Roger, in sports this today? The hockey
Well,
starts
yeah, so
today,
tonight,
tonight.
I mean, I've always watched Conor McDavid, and I think he's a great,
So,
great player, and I think he has brought his Oilers to the Stanley Cup Finals. Um, they are the underdogs. Florida got there last year, and they're back, and they're more determined to win this year. But I still think McDavid and the Oilers can have a chance to take this cup. So rooting for Edmonton Oilers, form a great team of Gretzky when they won five straight in the
yes,
80s. And I think they're slowly coming back, and it's exciting to see. They have a superstar as their captain, and they have a good chance to take this thing as they're in the finals, as they're all saying, you got to get there to have a chance. And I believe it's going to be a good series. I think it may go to seven, or worst case six, but I think it's
Hmm.
going to be tight. I think it's not going to be a walkover for anybody.
Yeah, it should be a good. Yeah, as soon as I think of Edmonton, that's the first person I think of, Gretzky, who you
Just
just
in the
mentioned.
80s.
You
Yeah.
know, because it seems like it was his team.
It was.
Yeah,
It was David Messier and Grant Ferrer and the Nets, and yeah, they just couldn't lose in the late 80s. Five straight.
yeah. I was watching some discussion on the finals, and there was a gentleman who was drawing pictures after each Edmonton win. So with Connor McDavid hosting the trophy.
So there,
Yeah, so he said he's just waiting for the final
yes,
win to finish his painting. So
there you go. He's almost there.
yeah, he's almost
Almost
there.
there. Yeah, it's
So it'll
exciting
be
to
great
see
to
though.
see. And this, I
Uh,
just said the Canadian team hasn't won since what, 1983, is it that you said?
93,
93?
yeah,
Wow,
yeah.
that's a long time.
A very, very, very long
21 years
time.
is a long time.
Very long time, and
And
it's not
it's
going to be easy.
Canada's game, so gotta
It
get a
is.
win.
It is. They deserve to win this thing. So it's not going to be easy, though. I think from what I've seen from Florida, they're difficult to beat and they're
Hmm.
tough as nails. But you know what? You got to be in the game to have a chance. And let's give Edmonton a chance. And if you live in Edmonton or you're a Canadian, I think you're all pumped to see what is going to happen in this NHL Stanley Cup Finals.
Yeah, and it's they've been get Florida's been there all the time or in and
Yeah,
around, just but they
yeah.
have
They're
not
looking for their
won.
first two, so
Yeah,
they're
yeah, they're
motivated,
looking for
right?
the first, yeah. So it's gonna
I,
it's something they're gonna play very hard to get, right?
And you know they got to the finals last year. So if you
Yeah,
really think about
yeah.
it, the fact that they got back makes it even going to be even more difficult to beat them because they knew what they went through last year, and I'm pretty sure they don't want to have a summer like that this year again. Because when you get to the finals of a major thing like this and lose, the whole summer, this is all you think about. You know
Yeah,
what happened here.
yeah,
So they're
yeah.
ready.
They're
They're
ready
ready.
to get over that loss for against Vegas and win
When
against the
yeah,
Canadian team. But we don't want the Stanley Cup to be in a hot city this time around.
not in warm
Not
Florida.
in warm Florida. We want it to be in a hockey country in
Yes,
Canada.
Canada.
So
So we'll cheer for them for that. It's going to be
yeah, we
interesting.
will. And
You
we
said the NBA
mentioned
as well, right?
NBA
Yeah.
Finals. Any
So
surprises?
Boston. I don't know, man. Porzingis is back, and he just dominated. I think he played 21 minutes and scored 20 points with 3 blocks, and
Yeah,
he was. I think Dallas just wasn't prepared to see him or something, but they got blown out. I mean,
yeah. I
107,
couldn't
89
believe
is
I didn't expect that sort to score.
no, no, never saw that coming. Actually, never saw
No,
that
and
coming.
as you said, they probably had their game strategies and plans, but didn't plan for him, right? So,
It must because I mean they had no answer for him. They didn't find a solution for him. But I also believe Dallas, the what I call the road players. I mean they have Irvin and they have
mhm.
Doncic, but the other players I think need to step up and they need to move the ball more. Maybe they were a little shell shocked. I don't know what it was, but they just didn't seem ready, or they were just too nervous. One of the two, or maybe both.
Yeah,
But Porzingis was back. Jalen Brown is continuing his really,
and
really good play. And Tatum didn't even have to do much. I think he scored like 14 points. But you
yeah,
know
he
what?
didn't, yeah,
So if he gets going, so if you look at it that way, Boston still has another ace to come out. So it's
true.
going to be difficult to beat Boston right now. But I mean, you have to play the games. As Tatum said, you know what? Last time they got to the finals, they won the first game, and then Golden State murdered them after that.
Yes.
So let's see what's going to happen this time. If Dallas is going to have an answer, but I think it's a little more difficult for Dallas than it was for Golden State.
Yeah, Dallas should have. Yeah, I think it's going to be a bit more difficult, but they should have some sort of an answer. It shouldn't be a blowout.
I
Kyrie
believe
Irving,
so.
I think, will step up, and Luka Doncic for sure. He'll continue his good play. He missed some free
Yeah,
throws there that I was
yeah,
sort of
he did.
surprised,
He
but
did. I
yeah,
think, as I said, the whole team that seems to be on a little. Kyrie didn't play well at. He just didn't do much, and Doncic started. I don't know if it's the stress of realizing what is going on. I don't know, but he was
hmm,
a little off as well. So it was a tough game for Dallas
it was. And game two goes tomorrow at 8 o'clock
tomorrow night. And as Jason Kidd, their
tomorrow
coach,
night.
says, Dallas, go out there and have fun. That's you can see they were a little tight. So go out there and have fun, and who knows? Maybe you'll see a different Dallas on Sunday.
Maybe for sure. But teams don't like to lose at home, so I'm sure Boston
Yeah,
looking to go 2-0 up because when they go to
absolutely.
Dallas, it's going to be something different.
Something very, very different. So it makes a big difference.
For sure. Okay, the other thing we want to talk about before we get into the World Cup cricket and some track and field is what's happening
F1.
in F1 in
Yeah,
Montreal.
Montreal.
And
Yeah, Sunday's Canadian Grand Prix is right around the corner. And,
yeah, and yeah, if you look
you
at this
know,
practice times, it looks there's no
Alonso.
Verstappen at the top.
Yeah, when you look, you see Alonso has the fastest practice. I know they had some rain, as we mentioned. There's a
Yeah,
lot of
some
rain in
rain.
Canada here, but Alonso is the fastest. And for the first in a long time, and they're saying Verstappen is actually frustrated by his
Hmm.
non-ideal start in Canada. So I think the Red Bulls are they're getting caught by the rest of the field now. As I mentioned, they came out with this I call it the AI car because they use AI
Hmm.
for everything and it helped them. They were way ahead, but it's catching up. To the
Yep.
fact that Lewis Hamilton is even saying Mercedes is not far away from for getting back to the front. So based on the
Yeah.
upgrades that they've been making, so it's interesting to see that they're getting caught and Verstappen doesn't seem to be as unbeatable and as confident as before.
And one of the things I was listening is that Mercedes has a new front wing, but they didn't use it in the
Yeah.
practices as yet, and they expected to put it on and have more pace. So we'll see
Yep.
if that happens.
I think that's what Lewis Hamilton is talking about. So
Hmm.
he seems excited about it. So it's going to be interesting to see because Leclerc is already saying it's another opportunity
Hmm.
for Ferrari to beat Red Bull after he won last time in Monaco. So he
Right.
thinks he can win. Alonso is the fastest.
As a
Lewis
fast.
Hamilton is saying we're not far away.
Yep.
Verstappen is frustrated. So it's a different dynamic going into this Canadian Grand Prix on Sunday.
Yeah, and George Russell was actually second in practice, and the
There you go.
Canadian Lance Stroll was third. So
Third.
in the Aston Martin, and
Yeah.
if you look at the number of laps, you see Verstappen only did 4 laps, so I'm not
Yeah.
sure what's going
They
on
said
there.
the car is not they had car trouble.
Hmm.
That car trouble. So I think that's why he's a little frustrated. Is that they're catching up to him and his car is not
And it's not
performing as
performing as it
normal.
should.
So, yeah, so he's like, oh, car troubles, and he just sounded frustrated,
Well,
very
today will
frustrated.
be the all
Yep.
qualifying race is today, coming up
Yes.
later on, and then the big race is tomorrow.
Big things tomorrow.
Yeah, so
So
if he loses and don't win this Montreal and back-to-back losses, I don't think he'll be too happy, Verstappen.
no, I think he's gonna realize now he can't go out there and have what did you say, a donut and a coffee while winning. He won't be
Well,
able to
yeah,
do that anymore.
yeah, that's true.
So
So we'll look
good for
at
the
that.
sport. Good for the
Good for
sport
the
that is
sport.
catching up with them.
So it's Love Bay Afrobeats Music Talk Radio. You're listening to the England Roger Sports Hour, and Roger, the big thing that happened because even this morning when I turned on the mainstream news in New York, I mean they were talking about cricket and is it
Cricket.
going to take off,
You
like
know what?
soccer did.
It's exciting to see how the media has embraced cricket, and it's even better when Canada is winning and the USA is winning. So
Hmm.
I think before the tournament started, they would just talk about is this a make or break for cricket in North America? I think so far it's definitely making
Just
it's
making,
going to
yeah.
blow up over in North America now that the Canadians and the USA teams are winning along with the West Indies.
Yeah, I think so. I think the good thing is that the Canadian team, Canadian and the US, as you said, are winning. US especially with their big win. And we can
I
probably
know
start. Well, let's start with the groups. I guess we can go to the groups and
groups, yeah,
say what has happened. We'll start with the group A, which is the United States,
States
Canada,
and England.
India. United States at the top of the table, but they played 2 matches. India second, one. Canada third with two, and Pakistan and Ireland bring up the rear. Ireland has played two, so some concern for them. Pakistan with that big loss
I know.
to USA, and what's your thoughts on that game?
You know what? I think the USA has a team. I think they always talk about these teams that are not made in the USA, but playing for the USA. The maturity that they showed tells me that I think cricket is alive and well in the USA. I think Pakistan, as you said, they have their times when you don't know what they're going to show, but I think the pitch wasn't something that they were as comfortable as they thought they would have been. But the USA just came to play. And it
Um,
tells me that they can be very dangerous. Now they have now 2 wins here, and are they going to beat India? I don't know, but I mean, for now, they're actually looking quite good, and it's really good to see.
yeah, they have a good team, very very good team. As you said, I was joking with someone yesterday saying they bought a good team,
Yeah, yeah,
but you
it,
know
it's
it's
not made in
good.
the USA, but it's representing the USA, and
Mhm.
it's doing fantastic for them.
It is doing fantastic for sure.
Mhm. But yeah,
Sorry, and
it's yeah, go ahead.
looking at Pakistan, one of the things and I think you and I spoke about, I told you that I think Pakistan is going to play one that game against one of the associates, which they did.
Yeah, yeah,
And but the preparation is what really had concerned me because you're going to the Caribbean and the USA to play a World Cup, but you go to play a series in wet, cool, damp
yeah,
conditions in England, and then
yeah.
you show up at the World Cup late, then you
I know.
complain about your accommodation. So a Pakistan team was actually moved
Oh, they
because
were okay.
yeah, because they said they didn't want to drive 40 minutes to a game. So they changed to a hotel that's 5 minutes away from the stadium,
Which
you
is
know. So
not all bad, I must say. It's
no,
better to take it away.
well, India is 10 minutes away, but the
Yeah,
other teams like Canada, USA, Ireland, they have
they
to
have
drive an hour
hour.
and a
I
half,
know.
an hour and 45 minutes to get to
I
just
know.
to practice.
Just there you go. Which is unfortunate. It should never be that far away.
No, you should be, all teams should be treated equally in the World Cup. And that's
I
why there
agree
was
with
some
that.
complaints by Sri Lanka and South Africa.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
in this group is a bit open, I think, because I said to the Canadians yesterday, if you can get one more win,
You
then
have a
a
shot.
couple of teams will end up with two wins, and then who knows what will
Who
happen and
knows?
go to
Who
run
knows?
rate.
Yeah, there you go. So, I mean, it's exciting to see, as I said, the USA winning, but
Mhm.
also as you're going to talk about how great it was to see Canada beating Ireland.
Oh, it was, but I wasn't 100% surprised because the last time
Really?
Canada played Ireland in a World Cup qualifier, Canada also won. So I thought that Canada had the goods, what it took to beat Ireland. And Ireland's not, don't take anything away from Ireland, but I think sometimes in sports, there's some matchups that just fine right for you. And I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
Canada and Ireland, that's one good matchup for Canada for sure.
For Canada, yeah, as they would say in Jamaica, they have your ticket.
Yes, yes. So I think that's a good matchup. So Canada's win yesterday, everybody was so excited. I mean,
It is.
I was happy to see the Canadians playing so well. Especially Nicholas Curtin, who we
Curtain.
actually got into a Canadian team because of we found him. He's a Canadian, was living in Barbados,
Yes,
playing for Barbados and also for the university team, and
team, yeah.
we played a practice game against him, and then one of the coaches pointed out to me that he was Canadian, and
I said, "Oh, come on over, come on
yeah,
over."
we had a chat with him, and we got him, and he developed from he got into the team when he was about 19, 20,
Yeah,
but he's developed into a good player now. He's to do
he's a
everything.
match winner.
Yeah,
Not just a
he's,
good player, he's a match winner right
yeah,
now.
his
So
innings yesterday, along with his partnership with Mova, was a
yeah,
game changer
it's a game.
yesterday,
Yeah,
and because
absolutely.
Canada was in some trouble at one point.
Yeah,
But that game, yeah, they did very well. And so, what a win, like a
all
World
the
Cup
way.
win. I mean, look at Uganda a couple of days ago. They had their
Yeah.
first World Cup win and they were just over the moon. So,
Well, can you imagine, right? I mean, they beat, somebody on their level, Papua New Guinea, but I mean, a win is a win, right?
it is a win, is a win.
Especially when it's your first win ever in
It
the World Cup.
is. It's true. If we continue going to the groups, Group B, Scotland, Australia, Namibia, England, and Oman, do you think England's in a bit of trouble because of that rainout? Because Scotland is 1-2. They're three
Yeah,
points.
it's always unfortunate where everybody's not playing under the same conditions. Some people get
Mhm.
bright sun, and then some people get rained out. I think England is in a little trouble actually because they're playing Australia today at 1 p.m. I think,
Yes.
and to me, Australia is looking more ominous than them. So if Australia goes on to win, then I think it's going to be a spot of bother for England.
That's part about it. Yeah, the final two games they should win, which is Namibia and
Should,
Oman.
should, should, should.
But also we have Scotland has to play Oman as well. So
There you go. It's not going to be easy for England. I mean, giving up points where you have no control over it is always hard.
yes, it's very hard when you do that. So it's going to be interesting to see how England and goes in this. They stayed in England and trained instead
Yeah,
of coming to the Caribbean early.
I
But
know.
I think
And I think they're going to pay for it too.
I think those teams who stayed away and didn't come early and play some warm up matches will pay for it.
I
And
think so.
it's going to show because look like go to Group C in Afghanistan. They went to the Caribbean early. They got there on the 15th.
And they're looking good.
and they're looking good. They beat, as I called it last week, I think they'll
Yes.
beat New Zealand. They beat
You
New
said
Zealand.
so, and I was like, "Oh my God!" I mean, you made two big calls. Pakistan is going to
Yeah,
lose, and New Zealand is going to get beaten, and
yeah,
they both happened. So kudos to you. You're on the ball
yeah,
right now.
yeah. I think I still have Afghanistan and West Indies to go through from this group. New Zealand is going to struggle. They'll
Yeah,
have to beat West Indies. They'll obviously beat Papua New Guinea and Uganda. So the game against West Indies is going to be crucial.
huge, huge.
And then West Indies Afghanistan is also going to be a big game in that group.
I'm a little concerned based on what I saw last weekend from the West Indies. I'm a little concerned about their game with Afghanistan right now. But let's see
Mhm.
what they do tonight, and maybe that will change my mind a bit.
I think with West Indies and actually there's top teams, they're not quite sure how to play against the associate big teams. The associate
Yeah,
cricket is different. Because you
yeah.
saw Australia when they played against Oman a
Oh
couple
man,
nights ago. They look
yeah.
very tentative as well.
True, true.
So I think they just don't know how to play these teams. They don't want to lose to them. And so
Yeah,
maybe some cautious.
a
They're too
little
cautious.
overcautious. Yeah,
Overcautious. Yeah.
yeah. And I think
So
I think you could see a little of that. It was arrogance, and then it became caution, and then it
yeah.
became okay. What are we doing here? Are we really going to lose this game? So
But if you talk about arrogance, you go back to the Pakistan USA game. That to me was a team that came up with a lot of arrogance because
it did.
Pakistan just, I mean, you don't normally try and hit the six out the first
First,
ball.
there you
And
go.
that's how the Pakistan
They wanted
batsmen
to send a
approached it.
message,
Yeah.
and
And
it backfired.
it did backfire on them. And now they're frustrated and trying to get back into it because they never expected. It was expected India, Pakistan. The big game tomorrow would have decided basically which one is first and which is second.
Second, yeah, that's what they think, and
Yes.
who knows? But I mean, some people, I mean, just going back to that group a bit,
Mhm.
some people believe, and I'd like your thoughts on this as well, that that New York pitch is so unpredictable that this may be a chance for Pakistan to beat India.
It is. It is very unpredictable. And, yesterday it played a little better than it did in the first couple of days. ICC actually put out a statement
I was
saying,
shocked to see that. It's like, oh my
yeah,
God, it was that bad that they had to make a statement.
yeah, they were surprised that they put out a statement like that. So it is, and the outfield is slow. I
That's
mean,
what I've been
yes, you've
told.
seen some shots from all the games so far, and you think they'll go to the boundary and they don't. The
They don't make it.
137 made by Canada is the highest score so far of the three games.
Can you believe that? That's what I'm thinking about. And they're even saying it's dangerous because I think that's where Rohit got injured and all of that. So
Rohit
they're
got
saying
injured, and
it's dangerous for the batsman, and the field is slow, and the pitch is very, very,
yeah,
very inconsistent, and
very
you just don't know what you're
inconsistent.
gonna get. It's like, did we make a mistake putting this,
In
taking
New
this
York.
pitch from Australia and plunking it down in New York?
Yeah, you didn't get too excited about getting cricket in New York when there's other places like California,
Absolutely.
um, Dallas,
Dallas is working really well. The pitch
Dallas
seems very
pitch is
good
good
actually, and
because they've played Major League Cricket on that
yes,
before. They've played,
yes,
it's a tested pitch. This one in New York is new, not tested.
brand new,
And,
brand
and as you said, there's some balls that jumped at you, some stayed low. It just
low.
wasn't consistent. So
Very,
it's
very.
not the
It's
best.
that's what sort of makes it dangerous too, especially
Mhm.
those that jump up at you, like what Rohit found out.
Yes, he did. And I think even yesterday when Curtin got out, he got one that jumped
Jump,
unexpectedly on him.
yeah.
And yeah, so those things are happening in those games.
It shouldn't be. I mean, for my 2 cents, you
Hmm.
cannot have the World Cup of cricket and you have an untried pitch.
No,
You should
I
never ever
totally
do
agree.
that. You should never
That,
do that.
and even as the pitch, just when you walk to the stadium, I mean, I'm sure it's safe, but when you see, a stadium built and all you're seeing is these scaffolding and this all around because it's a temporary stadium.
I know.
It just, I mean, it's amazing to see that you can put up something like that, 32,000 seat stadium that way, but
You know what?
it's just,
New
yeah.
York. So they believe as long as it's New York, you're gonna get crowd, you're gonna get excitement because the
Hmm.
media, because of everything going on. So they had to put it in New York, they believe. But I don't know. I think New York is just not ready for this right now.
Yeah, it's going to be tested tomorrow. The stadium, everything is going to be tested.
Everything is gonna be tested. It's India versus
And
Pakistan, So
it's just the
and they say when
frequency,
that game happens, is one
everything.
over 1 billion people watching. So
Yeah. And there's also some discussion. Well, let's finish off with Group D and then we go
yep,
into some other discussions because you've got South Africa, Netherlands, Bangladesh, Nepal, and Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka's lost two already.
two in a row.
Um, I think South Africa just played the one, Netherlands won, and Bangladesh they've won and one.
Yeah,
So I think that group is pretty much wide open. So it depends on Netherlands how they.
it is.
Yeah, I
It
think
really is.
Bangladesh. I expect Bangladesh and South Africa to come out from that group, but you never know.
South Africa seems to be one that's probably going to win the group.
Hmm.
I'm a little surprised that Sri Lanka is pretty much on their way out already. Um,
Yes,
Down 0-2 is not a good way to start a World Cup, so I think they're going to be out. It's an interesting zone, I must say.
it is an interesting zone, and I totally agree with you that those two teams will Sri Lanka surprising, but Bangladesh I think will get through with South Africa,
It seems that
depending
way.
on Netherlands can't count them out, but
Never. I mean, didn't they beat the West Indies?
yes,
I
they've
would
beat,
laugh about that again. But
they've beaten England as well.
yeah, so you can't write them off at all. I think they're
No,
very
you can't.
dangerous, actually. Very
They're
dangerous.
dangerous team. So the World Cup continues, and look, people, everyone is looking forward to the big clash tomorrow. And as you
Yes,
mentioned, the pitch may have the final say on the winner.
which is unfortunate. It's unfortunate. It should
It's a
never be the
10,
pitch deciding the game. It should be the players.
it's a 10:30 a.m. start. And the other thing that of discussion is you've got a you've got people are I guess talking about the crowds, especially in the Caribbean. You're not getting huge crowds, but
Yeah,
you're hosting a World Cup in the Caribbean, but you're catering for the Asian market because the timing for the
Ireland.
starts is because of TV prime time in the other countries. So
Yeah,
West Indians, they're not saying, oh, well, West Indians are not supporting, but no one's going to come out at 10:30 a.m. in the
on a
morning.
Sunday morning.
Yeah,
It's
Sunday
not
you
gonna
go to
happen.
church, Saturday you go to the market first,
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
you
So
know,
the
and
timing
during
is
the week
really
you're
off.
working.
Yeah,
So I think if you had these games at 7:30 at night,
yeah,
you would
yeah.
be packed. Yeah,
You get a good crowd because
you
it's
get a good
catering
crowd.
for the people that actually live here.
Yeah, but you're catering for the TV audience, then yeah, you're gonna get some empty stands.
It's a difficult conversation for the organizers, though, because as I said, it's over 1 billion people watching, and
Correct.
they make a lot of money from TV rights over there.
Yeah, they do.
So they're gonna
Yeah,
make sure they
so
collect that money.
yes, so that's the thing. You're gonna have if you don't have the viewership, then but you know what? If India is playing Pakistan, don't care what time you put that game,
Eh,
everybody's gonna get up.
Even if you see, the thing is, because West Indies is not a major team anymore, but the West Indians
Hmm.
get up at 4 in the morning to watch a game because they
Yes,
want to see their team, right? And
hmm,
I'm pretty sure the Indians would do the same.
they do. I mean, I have people who I know are tennis fans, and when they have the games in different parts of the world, Australia, wherever, they set their alarms and they get up and watch
They
the
get up and watch a
Australian
game.
Open. Yeah,
Exactly.
so the fans will get up at any time. So I think there's probably some weird mix in between, maybe
They should. They should.
that maybe even a 2:30 start or 3 o'clock start for some areas, and
Yeah. Yeah.
people might sneak away from work for the last couple of hours and come.
Yeah.
But it's very hard to go to a World Cup and say you were homesick.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
Yeah, so yeah, but the big matchup tomorrow, as you said, India versus Pakistan. Predictions on that, Roger?
I'm going with India.
You go with India.
I'm going with India, and I think they're saying, the Kohli effect. I mean, whenever Kohli takes on Pakistan, it seems as if India can't lose. But we'll see. We'll see if he shows up tomorrow. But right now, I think India is going to be taking this one.
I'm kind of with you. I'm going to go with Pakistan. They're unpredictable.
Very, and they
They
lost
have,
already.
yeah, they lost already. They're wounded. So I
I know.
think Gary Kirsten, he has a good insight of India or how they play. He's coached them for this victory for so long.
Yeah.
And but he seems frustrated in the game against US as he was
Yes.
coaching.
Yeah.
And but I believe it's going to be a good game whether if you get the good weather. If the pitch can play well, then you can see one of the best played. India's never lost to Pakistan in a
There you
World
go.
Cup.
There you go.
So is it the time?
Is it the time for that, or is
Yeah.
the statistics going to show that India is a totally dominating country when playing Pakistan in a World Cup competition?
And it's the things that I mean, both countries, there's just so much pride
A
that
lot, a lot.
losing to the other is not
It's
acceptable.
it's not acceptable at all. And so far, India has proven that they're not losing. So I think that trend is going to continue. But you're right; it's going to be a tight game.
I hope so. Hoping for the fans' sake that you have sunshine tomorrow and a good game.
and a good game. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And the other game that goes tomorrow is Oman, Scotland at 1 o'clock.
yeah.
And that's going to be in Antigua at North Sound. So,
Yes, yes. Hopefully they get decent crowd.
and tonight, West Indies play Uganda. And
Yeah, it's time to see how serious the West Indies is. They didn't play too bad against. Don't get me wrong, they didn't play too bad, but
mm,
you're getting back into another pitch argument about is the pitch a factor here? Is the weather a factor here? But I think the West Indies will win in Guyana. As
I
long as
think pitch could have been a factor, but I think the most biggest thing I saw the West Indies is that they like pace on the ball, and that
yeah,
wasn't happening.
it's not happening.
No,
I think
those and you're not going to get that from associate cricketers.
I
So
think well, I'll put it another way because what I heard one of the commentators say is that
mm,
not trying to be unfair here, but you're playing cricket in the West Indies and you build a pitch that is not for what the West Indies want. It's just unbelievable that you do something like that. You're at home,
I
you have the home field advantage, and you're not using it.
that's
Makes no
another
sense.
conversation I had. I had yesterday too. I said because I was actually speaking about the Barbados pitch. I said, why is it that our groundsmen in the Caribbean are not allowed to prepare the pitches the way they want to do it? Why does a and I know it's ICC
Yeah,
tournament, but why do we have supervisors from outside
that's
coming to
right.
tell us how to prepare the pitches
So you're
in
building
the
a pitch that
Caribbean?
doesn't suit you.
It's
You're at
not going
home
to
and it
happen
doesn't
in
suit you at
it's
all.
not going to happen in India or countries
Never,
like that. So I
never.
think it's the pitches. Yeah, in every country you go to, you need to have the proper pitches to suit you. And then I think for a good ODI or T20 pitch, you
Mhm.
need something better than what I'm seeing so far in throughout the whole region.
Correct. That is so correct. I think they're saying it's a good test for the batsmen to show how good they are. So you're not going to see any 200s or 220s or any type of score like that. You get to 150, 160, you should be very happy. It may be good for some, but I mean, yeah, as a fan going there, you want to see the big scores, right?
Yeah, it's not good for entertainment
No.
and good for yeah, it's not good for what you're trying to sell. I don't think.
There you go.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. So I believe
I
in it.
thought they would build pitches to see big scores, like what they do basically in the IPL. So I don't know what's going on here.
That's true. But we'll continue watching the World Cup and update you by next Saturday. We'll be able to tell you the teams that are going through to the next round.
That is for sure.
We can talk about this all day, I'm sure, the World Cup. But continue following the games and we will keep you updated. Other cricket news that I wanted to talk about before we get into the track and field in the interest of time, Roger, is West Indies have named their 15-man squad to tour England.
England. Hmm.
And I don't know if you had a chance to look at it to see any surprises. The first thing I would tell you that it's the first time that Kittishan
I was
sent
about to say that.
has
I said,
played. Yeah,
this is England's weekend, man. You got
yeah, it's the
Canada
first
winning
time.
in the World Cup, and
First
you got the
Kittishan has been
first from
selected.
St. Kitts. It's like,
Yeah,
whoa,
it's not the
about
first
time.
from the Federation, but first on the island of St. Kitts to be
Yes,
selected. And
because they've been
Michael Louis,
selected before.
I have don't know him very well. I knew him when he was a youngster.
Okay,
Been around, but I keep in touch with him. I talk to him, and I reached out to him, and he's
congrats
quite
to him,
elated.
man.
So congrats to
Well,
him, and
I'm happy for him, man. I'm happy for you. I'm
yeah,
happy for him, man. It's a
yeah,
big
he's
deal. It's a big deal.
and I'm happy for his family because and his father. I know his father put so much effort into his cricket. I mean, his father played cricket with the Central Bank in St. Kitts, and
Okay.
whenever he had a game, these two brothers would be there playing.
Okay. Okay.
So I mean, they always went with him, and if the Central Bank team was shot, those two youngsters were always
To
there
jump on.
to jump on to play. So
That's awesome. That is
yeah,
awesome.
and he
It-
took them and coached them. I actually spoke to Keith Atherton, and Keith said, there's one thing he can say for sure that he didn't have anything to do with this young man. His parents really did a lot of work.
There you go. You know what, Kuda? That's a great family story, and he deserved to be there. I mean, he showed up
Yeah,
and he did really well in the regional competition, so he deserves to
hmm
be there.
yeah, 600 plus runs. That's a lot,
That
and
can't be
really
that.
well.
A lot of
Yeah.
runs.
And just quickly, the team: Craig Brathwaite, Alec Athanaze, Joshua De Silva, Jason Holder, Kavim Hodge, Tevin Imlak, Alzari Joseph, Vice Captain, Shamar Joseph, Michael Louis, Zach Kari McCaskey, Kirk
I like
McKenzie,
yeah.
Vinegar Smoke, Keith Moti, Kemar Jaden Seals, Kevin Sinclair,
Good
and
team. It's a
good
good team.
team. And I think there's a youngster from Guyana who'll be traveling with the team. He's not with in the squad, but he'll be
Okay.
traveling. Fast bowler. Can't remember his name
Okay.
offhand. He was the under 19 fast bowler.
I think I know who you're talking. I don't remember his name either, but I know who you're talking about. So he'll
Yes,
be
so
traveling with the team, not
he'll be
in the
traveling with the
squad, but he'll
team.
be with them.
Yes, he'll be
Good
with
exposure
them to
for him.
get
Good
exposure. Yes.
That's good. That is good.
So
Interesting. But it's a decent team. I'm not sure if you have any issues with who is not there.
Chandra Paul.
Yeah, yeah. Are you
Yes,
okay with that or?
I'm okay with that. He didn't have such a good series as last series. He didn't have a good regional championship. So some people I was talking to yesterday say that he should have been there, but I think if he wasn't there, then if he was there, Louis would have probably got left out. And I
You
think they
can't
went
afford
with
that.
first players who informed. And the 19-year-old who's going with the team is Isaiah Thon, the fast
Okay.
bowler from Guyana.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
played on the 19th for West Indies, so he'll
Yes.
be traveling with the team. So
Good.
yeah, I think pretty good team as you said, and guys, Xander Paul should see it not as a job as such, but a chance to go back and try it
Fix his
and
game.
fix this game. Yeah,
It's gone downhill, I must admit, for the last year or so.
yeah.
Interesting. I mean, quickly before we get away from cricket, I saw Moti
Mm-hmm.
being nominated for Player of the Month, and I'm saying, he deserves it.
Mm-hmm.
He's doing some really good bowling, man. It's very hard to play him, I could see. So kudos
Yes.
to him. Kudos to him. And
Yeah.
another one is, and we don't talk about this guy so much. That's why I just wanted to mention it.
Mm-hmm.
Joel Garner. We don't talk about they talk about all these resident fast bowlers and a
Right.
lot about the others, but I thought the big bird Joel Garner was very, very effective, and to see him getting honored is beautiful to see.
Yeah, it's good to see. He was very good, but yeah, he's not talked about a lot. As well
No,
good as he was, you don't hear a lot about
exactly.
him.
You don't hear a lot about him, but he was very, very effective, and
Yeah.
a big part of why West Indies was winning
Yes, he's a very big part of it, and definitely happy to see him being honored. Uh,
for sure.
if there's the only other thing we have about cricket that the West Indies women's cricket team start their series in Sri Lanka next weekend, the 15th, and we
Yep.
look forward to seeing how if they continue progress from the last series.
They looked really good last series,
Mm-hmm.
almost looking dominant again. So it's awesome to see. I'm actually excited about what they're going to do. So I
Mm-hmm.
think they've gelled really well as a team, and Haley Matthews is out of this world right now. So it's exciting time for women's cricket in the West Indies.
It is very much so. And if there's nothing else about cricket, then we can quickly get into some track and field because time is just flying quickly.
Yeah, you know what? Track and field is just it's going so good right now. Everybody's talking about these races, and the big one last weekend was at the Racers Grand Prix in Jamaica, where Noah Lyles went down there as the defending world champion and said he's going
Mm-hmm.
to try and break the stadium record of 9.75. He ran well. He ran 9.85, but he was
Yeah,
beaten by the Jamaican
Jamaican,
upcoming
yeah.
superstar oblique Seville, who won in 9.82 to Noah Lyles 9.85. But I think the big news coming out of that one, Ingle, was the picture at the end of the race when
Yes,
oblique Seville was looking back at
looking back, yes. So
Oh,
that,
I was not happy about that. You could see him not
no,
happy, and he posted something on I think Twitter saying, "I'll remember this in Paris."
yes.
Looking forward to see what's going to happen there, but that was a truly exciting race. It got all the tongues wagging in Jamaica, all the talk, everybody coming out of the woodwork saying what Oblique Civil is going to do. The fact that he could look around in the last 5 minutes tells you he could have gone faster. His
Yes,
coach, Glenn Mills, is talking this kid can go 9.6. Bolt is talking up as well. So there's a lot of things around Oblique Seville right now. So it's going to be a very, very exciting few months into these Olympic Games with these two. So certainly looking forward to that. But at that meet, we also saw Julian Alfred out of St. Lucia. She got beaten last weekend,
mm-hmm.
weekend before by Shakari. And, she was
Correct.
leading in that race and got tight. And she said all she's going to do is relax here. And she certainly did. She ran a stadium, she ran a championship record, 10.78. A big personal best. Of course, it's a national record for St. Lucia and a world leading time. So the only person to go under 10.8 this year has been Julian Alfred. And she did exactly what she said she was going to do. She relaxed in the last 20 meters and she was a big winner. 10.99 was second. So 1078 to 1099. She was a big winner and looking extremely good. And a lot of people are now saying she's going to be dangerous this year because the Jamaicans haven't showed up as yet. Shelley hasn't run a race. Elaine ran one and she was at the back. And Sharika even lost a 200-meter last week. So what's going to happen, we don't know. But Julian Alfred is looking at somebody's going to compete against Shakira Richardson this year.
That's the big. I hope Shikari doesn't peak too soon.
No, no, I
Yeah,
think
she's
they
going
know
well.
what they're doing over there. Yeah, she's in great form. It shows. But let's see, they're not racing her very often. She's confident, and the truth is, she looked exactly like how she looked last year, only that she's a little bit better. And she ran 10.6
Oh,
last year, so I think you got to look for 10.6 really low, or maybe a 10.5 high from Shakari this year. So if you're coming to beat her, be prepared to run that type of time. That's all I will say. She's looking very, very good right now. And I mean, I'm not worried about the Jamaicans until their trials. At the trials, we know who's ready or not. So I won't say much. I know they're being prepared for that. They're experienced. They're not like new to the sport, so they know what they're doing. So let's see. Can't say much about them right now because they're not showing out. But for now, Julian Alfred, Shakari Richardson, they're looking like they're going to be the top athletes so far. They will be very dangerous when the time comes in Paris. We
mm,
also saw Jaden Hibbert, triple jumper, 19-year-old, young kid, jumping a world leading 1775, a stadium record and everything in the National Stadium in Jamaica. And he's just a joy to watch. I mean, a huge personality, lots of energy. He's like a kid in a candy store. So he's looking really, really good. He's the favorite to win. I mean, to do that at 19, he should have won last year when he got injured. So, going to be interesting
yes,
to see how
very
well he
legit.
does. But I don't know, man. 19 Ingle
I
dominating.
know.
Wow. He said he's going to go after the Olympics. He's going to go to the World Junior Championships to win that as well. So he's going for his.
Should you be allowed to go into the World Juniors after going
I
to the Olympics?
I know. He's a defending champion there. And so you can imagine he won when he was young and he's going back, he
Hmm.
said. So he just want to be dominant. Everywhere you look, you're going to see his name with a record beside it. So let's see how that goes. But those are the major races over there. The races Grand Prix last weekend. And going on last weekend also, we had the Stockholm Diamond League over there in Sweden. And Canadian shot putter Sarah Mitten, she was a close second in the shot put there, and she's having a really good year. Broke the Canadian record, and she's looking good. She barely lost by 2 centimeters, so she is looking really, really good. But of course, a lot of people are watching out for Sharika Jackson because on the Thursday before, she lost her 200-meter race coming fifth, and everyone was just so shocked. And she said she had to come to prove a point. She did win the 200 there, beating no big names, but she only ran 22.6. So a lot of people are still saying she's not going very fast, and she looked like she was actually trying when she was running the 22.6. But if you look at her body, you could see that she has slimmed down, which is, she said, was the objective that they're working on right now.
Mm.
She seems slimmer. She's not looking very light, so I guess she's training hard. So I'm not, as I said, I'm not worried, but she's not going fast right now. That's the most I say about Sharika Jackson. The two big races, though, was the 400-meter hurdles races where Dos Santos, he's just on a roll right now from Brazil. He won again in the 400-meter hurdles, and Femke Ball, she had her opener in the 400-meter hurdles, and she was also dominant, beating Rochelle Clayton, who had not lost since the year started. Femke Ball defeated her running 53.01. So good races. The 400-meter hurdles this year are going to be exciting because, on the women's side, Femke Ball is going to take on Sidney McLaughlin. On the men's side, Dos Santos is going up against Warholm and Rai Benjamin. So look out for those 400-meter
Yes.
hurdles races. That'll be pretty, pretty exciting. NCAA is going on right now, Ingle, and there's this young Canadian out of Vaughan by the name of Christopher Morales Williams. Lots of talk about him because he broke the world record indoors and didn't get it because of a starting block, which was not compliant. But now
Mm-hmm.
he goes and he wins the NCAA 400 meters. Barely won, running 44.47, but a win is a win. Uh, and right behind him, though, is a young Jamaican, Javon Powell, running 44.54. So he's not too far behind. He came third, actually. So it was a very, very good race. I'm hopeful that Morales Williams keeps his form all the way through to Paris. I know he has been going really fast for the last few months, and the 400 meters is not a joke race, so it may be a little difficult for him to keep that pace. He has a 44.0 Canadian record he ran a couple weeks ago. So let's see how if he can be ready to run 44.0 or better at Paris. But for now, he's the NCAA champion, Canadian record holder. Another Canadian, Rowan Hamilton. He threw a personal best 77.18 meters to win the men's hammer throw. So Canada is winning on the track and in the field. So that's exciting to see. And let's see how well he does. The Canadian guys already is the world champion in the hammer, and he's ready to go. So we may have two people on the podium in the hammer throw
Mm.
at the Olympics, which would be sensational to see.
Yeah.
From the Jamaica side, Akeelia Smith, she defended her long jump title, jumping 679, which is a very, very good jump. While Romain Beckford, he won the high jump, right, jumping 2.26 meters. So he's also looking good. Very good championships. Finishes today with the women. The men have finished. We also saw another Jamaican, Tyrese Roden, running 145.70 to be fifth in that 800-meter race, but it was a personal best for him. So kudos to him. And another thing, not West Indian or Canadian, but British sprinter Louis Hinchcliffe. He trains with Carl Lewis over there in Houston, and he became the first European to win the men's 100 meters at the NCAA championships, running 9.95. So
Hmm.
kudos to him. That's breaking a big trend there. You talk about breaking up the stats. Louis Hinchcliffe is doing that. So
That's different.
yeah, we'll see how far he goes. But today, and you're in New York, maybe you could spin over and watch this one. And the New York Grand Prix goes over there in New York today. And Elaine Thompson Era, she's going to be in that 100 meters. And she's taking up Aliyah Hobbs and Gabby Thomas. So let's see if she's ready to run. She wasn't ready to run in California a couple of weeks ago, where she came last, running 11.30. Let's see what she does today. So that's going to be one of the big races. Another big race is that 400-meter race where Kirani James is going to take on Wade Van Niekerk and the informed Jerry Richards out of Trinidad. So that 400 meters should be pretty exciting to watch. Of course, USA's biggest athletes, in my opinion, on the male and the female side, will be there. So again, Ingle, you're in New York if you want to swing by.
Yeah.
But it's Noah Lyles is going to be running his 200-meter race, the first one for the year for him. And Sidney McLaughlin, she'll be running the 400-meter flat, not the hurdles this time. So big names, big events. New York Grand Prix goes today over there in New York City. So let's see how that one goes. If you can get there, Ingle,
If
go
I
there and
can
take
get
some
there, I'll
pictures.
try. Yeah, why not?
Should be pretty, pretty, pretty
That's
exciting. We're talking about Noah Lyles. He's still optimistic, and I don't know what you think about this. He says he wants to get 4 gold medals
4 medals, eh?
at the Olympics. That would mean he'd have to run the 4x4. Right now, Oblique Civil is better than him in the 100, so he can't be too confident at that 100-meter, man. The 200 meters are probably a little more confident, but they're catching up to him, so let's see how that one goes. The 4x1, you just never know. But I'm not sure if I don't know, if he's ready for the 4x4, if he can make that team. Who's he going to make it over? I'm
Who's
not
gonna
sure yet.
yeah, who's gonna be out for him?
I have no idea what they're going to do because Ry Benjamin is probably has to be on that team based on how he's running the 400 meters, and Michael Norman is there as well. So I don't know. Let's see. I mean, they may just give him a chance to get him an
To
opportunity if
get a
he's
big
in a
fourth.
position to get his fourth, but it's going to be a big call for them. But I like him because he talks about a lot of things and he gets a lot of eyes on the sport. So kudos to him. Quickly, in some other track and field news, World Athletics is trying things and give them credit for this. They're trying to do different things. They're pumping money into the sport. They're going to pay their people to go when they win at the Olympic Games, $50,000. Now they're saying they're going to have ultimate championships featuring the best of the best and a US $10 million prize purse, where
Hmm.
the winner will get $150,000 to win. That is huge coming from where the track and field is coming from. No one has
It's
really got over 50,000, I think, for winning any event. So to get up to $150,000 is going to be a big, big, big thing. It's going to be a 3-day championships. It's only going to be semifinals and finals, the best in the world. Let's see if it comes off. It starts in 2026 September in Budapest. Let's see how it goes. But they're saying this may be their answer to the Super Bowl. So this is going to be the Super Bowl for track and field. I don't know. What are your thoughts? Do you think it will take off? I think that's a big question. Do you think thing would take off?
I think it can. What they say, build it and they'll come. So
True. True.
I think it's a start of something, yeah, that could definitely take off. People are looking for different things, right? So
100%. And then
hopefully
150,000 may motivate somebody to
then
be
motivate
barefoot.
some people to be, yeah, for
Yeah, I
sure.
mean, for one race, I mean, you
Money
got
is everything now.
uh, 10 seconds, 9 seconds, you're getting
Yeah,
$150,000. Why not?
yeah.
So let's see how it goes. But I'm looking forward to it. It's something new, it's something exciting. they're also looking at doing other things. So the World Athletics, as I said, they're changing things up. They're now talking about a mixed 4x1. I know they have mixed 4x4.
four
They're
by
looking at
four, and yeah, a four by. Do they have
well,
a 4x2 as well? Or
not mixed now. So
no?
they've only had a 4x4 mix so far, and I think this mixed 4x1 can be a little tricky because I can imagine that somebody coming at you with 9.6 speed and you're going at 11.0 speed. So I don't know.
Mm,
It could be dangerous out there, but let's see what they come up with. They probably have an idea how to do this. Maybe it's two women to two men, or they'll figure something out. But at least they're looking to do something different. They're also talking about having a steeplechase match. Right now the steeplechase is 3,000 meters. They're going to try to see if they're going to bring it down to a mile, which would change that tremendously because I think a lot more people can do that. So interesting. Very, very, very interesting to see the changes that are coming up or being talked about in track and field.
but this, yeah, it's needed actually because you
Yeah.
can't keep your sport the same way forever. So everybody's coming up with different ways to,
Changes.
yeah. So I think that's something that's interesting to see. A few years back, they tried, I think it was a team sports track
Yes.
and field.
And I think that's what Michael Johnson is trying to. He's going to get. He got $30 million to build something like that. So let's see how that works. But a lot of people feel, you have an allegiance to a team right now. It's a lot of individuals in the sport,
Hmm.
and you just do what you want. If you have a team and you have to step up for your team, it would probably make a huge difference. So let's see if that takes off as well. And I really hope it does because I think the sport needs it.
For sure.
All right. Anything else for track, or you want to have a quick chat on
Now
soccer?
we can have a quick chat in soccer, but don't talk about Sinkers game.
Yeah. So St. Kitts has been bouncing off the walls in cricket. Well, not so much in soccer, so we won't talk about it. They got a 4-0 beaten, and
Mhm.
actually, so did Canada. Canada played a practice game
Canada
against
out of
the Netherlands,
Netherlands, yeah.
and they got 4-0 as well. So, and they're taking on France tomorrow. So let's see if Canada can do a better showing over there in that practice game as they tune up for the Copa America. But in other World Cup qualifying games, Jamaica they defeated the Dominican Republic 1-0 in Jamaica. A lot of talk about what happened with the stadium lights and the rain and how well Jamaica played and all of that. But at the end of the day, they got the 3 points that they wanted. They won the game, and they're going to take on Dominica tomorrow in
Mm.
Dub. So let's see how that one goes. Trinidad and Tobago, they drew their game. They came back from 2-0 down. So look forward to see if they can keep being as tough as they have been so far. World Cup qualifying is the early stages, so a long way to go. But I think a lot of people are watching the CONCACAF because with the USA, Mexico, and Canada already qualified for the World Cup, a lot of people are going to say who are the next three that are going to come through. So pretty
Hmm.
excited from that perspective. But these first round games are sort of straightforward in my opinion. Cricket soccer news quickly. It's a dream come true for French soccer star Kylian Mbappe
Mbappe,
as he
yeah.
joins Real Madrid. So you know what? There's so much talk about it for so long. I mean, Real Madrid doesn't lose the Champions League, and now they're going to get Mbappe with them. It's going to be a very, very big team over there in Real Madrid.
It's,
You
I
know,
mean, the names that are going to be there.
oh my
It's
God. They're still working on Alfonso Davies, the
Alphonse,
Canadian
yeah.
captain. They're still in contract talks with him to go to Real Madrid as well from
Hmm.
Bayern Munich. So it's going to be, that team is going to be a stacked team. So let's see how it goes for them. And let's talk quickly about this one. So there's a little rumor going around that Messi's talking about retirement now. I think he's getting a little stressed out because there's been another lawsuit against him, a class action lawsuit from a BC soccer fan
Wow.
because they're playing the Vancouver Whitecaps. Of course, Messi is supposed to be there. They jacked up the price, making 300% or whatever more,
Hmm.
and he doesn't show up. He doesn't play. So, they're very unhappy with that. And there's another lawsuit. So this is like the third or fourth for the last few months against Messi and his team because Messi has not played. So
He's not played, yeah.
difficult for him to play every game, and he's at his age and all of that stuff. So it's a tough, tough, tough thing. I don't know if they should not be promoting him or whatever, but he should be allowed to be sick or not available.
Exactly.
Apparently, he's not, Ingle.
You're not allowed to. Wow.
Apparently, he's not. He has to play no matter
You,
what.
you can't
I
have an
spent my
injury.
money. No injury for you. No injury.
No. Just
Uh,
strap it up and play.
exactly. I spent my money. You got to be out there, even if
Yeah.
you're doing nothing.
Wow.
I don't know. It's a crazy time that we're living in.
It is. It is. It's such a crazy way to win for everybody to make money and to
I
do
know.
it.
I know.
And the way that I mean, most teams, yeah, of course, if you advertise for your team, you'll say Messi is going to be there, but he can't play,
Exactly.
can't play. But it's not good
They
enough.
don't accept that these days. You got to be playing
No,
no matter what.
unfortunately, we've come to the end, Roger, of another edition
Right.
of the England Rogers Sports Hour on Love Bay Afrobeats Music Talk Radio. And enjoy the rest of your week, everyone, and be safe.
I've been fascinated and enjoy all the sports that are happening right now every day.